Good morning. Hi, Carrie Scroggins, KDS Insurance Services. I am following up a previous video on claims. As you know, I'm an insurance agent. I'm an independent agent with 43 years of experience, and the Houston area has gone through a dramatic event, a hurricane. And there's a lot of questions, a lot of confusion. Insurance is complicated, and so there is a question that I have been asked several times to elaborate more on, and it's an insured's due diligence. What does due diligence mean, and what is my responsibility as an insured? So an insurance policy is a contractual agreement between you and an insurance company. The insurance company is going to provide you a product, an insurance policy, to protect whatever it is: home, car, life, health, whatever. And as a part of that contract, you as the insured have responsibilities. Let's take a home, for example, because that's the major question on everybody's mind. What is my responsibility as an insured? What is my due diligence? That's another word for responsibility, so let's clear that up. What are your responsibilities? What are your due diligences? The same thing, okay? Your biggest responsibility as an insured is to maintain your property. An insurance company is willing to insure a property that is insurable, in good condition, no previous existing damages, no trash or debris around the home, nothing around the home that could potentially cause a fire, maintaining your electrical system, maintaining everything in your home to keep your home running and going and in normal operational status, okay? One of those things is trees, maintaining the trees that are on your property. And in the Houston area, if you've ever been to Houston, you know that we have massive big trees. We have pine trees, oak trees, pecan trees. Some of these trees get to be massive, 200-year-old trees that are 3 feet in diameter and so tall I couldn't even tell you how tall they are. And they are picked up in an event like this, and they are thrown or they're knocked over. And so one of the things that the insurance company is very, very specific about in their contract is you must maintain your property. You must maintain trimming your trees. You must maintain having nothing leaning up against your house that is combustible. Old cars, tires, old gasoline cans, anything that's going to be considered a combustible whatever it is, barbecue pits, anything that's attached to something that can explode or over the time can catch on fire and then explode. That is what the insurance companies are wanting to make sure that you are doing. And in your policy language, in the declarations page or in your policy jacket, there's going to be language that talks about what your responsibilities are, what your due diligence is. Another one is paying your premiums. You are responsible to pay your premiums. If the carrier is going to provide you coverage, then in exchange for that, this is what is expected of you as the insured. When the insurance company finds out that you have not done those or maintained those responsibilities, then they have the right to not pay your claims because you have entered into a contractual agreement with the company. It's your responsibility. It is your responsibility to make sure your premiums are paid. It is your responsibility to make sure your trees are trimmed. It is your responsibility to make sure the electrical system works correctly in your house to prevent a fire. All of these things are your responsibility as an insured. And it is specifically set forth in your contract, your policy, that you maintain these responsibilities. If you don't, then the insurance company does have the right to cancel your insurance and not pay your claims. That's the situation. That's why it's so important to maintain your property. when these storms happen, it's important to take down patio furniture, to move your barbecue pit, to move anything that you have leaning up against your home, your trash cans, because all of those can become projectiles that can be picked up as a result of high winds or a tornado, and they can be thrown into somebody else's home or somebody else's car or somebody else. This is why it is so important, and why the carrier tells you in your contractual agreement, this is what we expect. In exchange for what we expect, we're going to provide you with a policy. And in that policy, we're going to list all of your coverages, your deductibles, what's covered, what's not covered, the exclusions, your premium, all the details of your policy. And then we're going to pay your claims based upon whatever happens, subject to the conditions, language, and deductibles within your policy. A lot of times, what we find out as agents, after an inspection is done, the insurance company will come to us and say, okay, this home has failed an inspection because of this policy is up for renewal. But in order to get a renewal, the client has to do this. They have to trim their trees. They got to take that vehicle that's in the backyard that's dead and not operating and move it. They're called underwriting notices or underwriting demands in order for you to secure your renewal. Then there are times when the carriers don't want the business, so they're going to non-renew your policy. And they're entitled to do this. The states mandate very specific guidelines that the carriers have to work within. The state of Texas has a specific set of rules, and the carrier must follow those rules. Just like the state of Texas says you as an insured must follow your rules. You have entered into a contractual agreement. If one party violates that agreement, then technically the agreement becomes void and the agreement does no longer stand. It is a contract. When you buy insurance, you are entering in a contract. That's why it is vitally important for you as a customer to read your policies, to understand your policies. And if you don't understand your policies, then it is your responsibility and your agent's responsibility to make sure it's explained. So if your agent is not explaining your coverages, you need to question them. Why? What does this mean? I'm not a licensed insurance agent. I have no clue what I'm reading. So it's your responsibility and it's your agent's responsibility to make sure that you understand your policy. Due diligence or responsibilities rest on both sides, you as the insured and as the insurance company. It's not just you, it's both parties. That's why it's called a contract. I hope this helps. I hope this clarifies what that is, what those terminologies are. If you still have questions and this is still unclear, if you're my client, by all means, call me and we'll talk about it. If you're not, and there's many of you who are not, call your agent. Make sure that your agent is doing their responsibility, that they are answering your questions and getting the information that you need every day, whether it's in a claims situation or whether it's just an everyday service request, changing vehicles and that sort of thing. I hope this helps. Thank you for asking for the clarification. This is Carrie, and I'm the owner of KDS Insurance Services in the Houston area. God bless everyone. Have a wonderful Monday.